This is the best free money glitch in Forza Horizon 5, which you guys can use to make millions of credits extremely quickly. Firstly, let's cover what car you need and everything you need to prepare to be able to use this method. First off, there are various different cars you guys can use. Whether it's any different car that can drift, that's the main thing you'll need to be able to do, as well as earn skill points. With that in mind, if you guys are newer to the game, you might be able to use one of the free formula drift cars. They're pretty good as they're also very easy to drift, and as well as the fact you'll get around a ×7 skill multiplier. However, if you have a little bit more credits, the best car in the game for this, which you definitely will be worth investing in, is the Unicorn V2. The main reason being this car actually has a ×8 skill multiplier. Now, regardless of which car you want to use, it's extremely important you virtually max out all of the skill perks, as it'll lead to getting significantly more skill points and thus be able to convert a lot more into credits and super wheel spins. You guys can see I've got 1 billion super wheel spins. I'll get into that as the video progresses. So once you guys have picked your car, you've maxed out the car mastery perks, you can go ahead to the Horizon Festival playlist and get a good upgrade on it. Now me, I don't really need it so much as I've already got a pretty good upgrade just by default with this Hoonigan, but you guys should definitely keep that in mind. Now in terms of difficulty settings, it doesn't really matter too much. I just suggest you have traction control off and steering on standard with braking anti-lock off, as if you're drifting, you only want traction control to be messing it up for you. Now in terms of where you guys should go on the map, right now in the bottom sort of corner of the map on the aerodrome drag strip, it's one of the best spots to drift and earn skill points. Very straight, some destroyable objects, and fairly easy to get to. So once you guys are started, pretty much just start drifting side by side. You're pretty much drifting in an S pattern, and what you guys will see is once you build up a little bit of speed and you manage to maintain this sort of pattern, it's very easy to earn skill points. Even if you're not very good at drifting, you can maybe do it a little bit slower than what I'm doing. It's still fairly easy to keep up with this pattern. Now on average guys, by using this sort of method, you can easily get around 10 skill points every minute and a half on average, and there are a few extra tips you guys can employ to maximize the effectiveness of this. Now I was talking about skill multipliers before, and I'll elaborate as to what they mean. Right now at the top of my screen, you guys can see that numbers building up pretty quickly, and there's a multiplier. It's timesing by 6.1 right now. Basically, if you're in any other car to formula drift cars, yours will only go to ×7, whereas mine can go to ×8, which means by the time I stop drifting, my overall skill chain will go to a higher number as the multiplier is bigger. It's very effective, as with a higher multiplier, you can reach the threshold in which you'll earn 10 skill points in one chain faster. So basically, if you didn't know, in a car like the ×8 multiplier, or whatever multiplier you have, you need to get to the total number 500,000. So let's say you have a multiplier of ×10, for example, you could stop at 50,000 points, and that will be 10 skill points overall, as the number of your chain equaled 500,000. With ×8, it's around 62,000, and ×7, it's around 72,000. Roughly those sort of numbers. So right now, I could stop drifting, and you guys will also be able to see that on screen, my points will continue to build up, and that's basically because when you guys are drifting like I was, you're actually earning skill points at a rate quicker than what it can show on screen. You pretty much want to line up with a number where you'll be earning those 10 skill points, as once I surpass 62,000, I've already reached the point where I'll be getting the most skill points I can unlock in one chain. So once I'm past 62,000, I could be at 10 million points up there, and I'm still only going to get 10 skill points. So there's no point wasting time by getting a very big or outrageously big chain. You want to get as close as possible to that threshold where you pass 10 skill points as you guys can. As you guys can see, I stopped at around high 40,000, and it continued to build up to around 72,000. That would be the perfect number if I had a ×7 multiplier, but since mine is ×8, in future I should probably stop a little bit earlier. Now what you guys might have seen though is that while I was waiting for that chain to end, it took around a minute, a little bit less than that. You can waste a lot of time waiting for that. Let's say you're about to finish your chain, here's a little tip. Go up to one of these events, you might not have all of them unlocked, but whether it's a cross-country event or the drag strip, go up to the event and just click the button to enter it as you guys go past. Once you finish your chain, enter, back out. This will instantaneously bank your skill points and put them into your car mastery inventory, and you can go right back into drifting. So once you've hit that around 50,000 number, you know you've crossed 10 skill points, bank it, go right back into drifting, save a lot of time. Once you have farmed a few hundred skill points, now it's time to convert those into super wheel spins and cash them out. Now I could make videos all day about how to do this. One thing I'll firstly show before I get started, which isn't actually even related to skill points, but is a very good way to make money, is through the 2008 BMW M3. You guys can buy it here for 48,000 credits, and if you guys actually head to the auction house, it's a little loophole right now. You can actually sell this car for over 10 million. The reason being is this car is what a lot of people use to give their friends money. So for example, I might list this car up for 12 million, my friend will buy it from me, yet I only actually paid 45 or 48,000 for it. Very easy way to be able to convert credits in the game right now, and a lot of people just buy these out for general, whether it's an act of charity, who knows, but a lot of them do actually get bought out. And now if you guys are wondering how to 1 billion skill points before, obviously the highest level in the game, 1 billion credits and more, it's actually because I'm playing on a new Series 22 instant delivery Forza Horizon 5 modded account from MitchCactus.com. We can also apply as mods to a currently existing personal account of yours, and we also offer just credit packs if that's all you guys are looking for. We've got over 7,500 Trustpilot reviews, and we've even recently started offering GTA 5, Call of Duty, and Diablo 4 boosting services. Go ahead and check that out, guys, at MitchCactus.com. Save a bunch of time, no need to grind these skill points. You guys can just level up as quickly as you want. Blink of the eye, you'll have everything you ever wanted in Forza, and you'll really be able to enjoy the game to the fullest. So guys, in terms of skill points, there are a few different cars you guys can use on the auction house. One of the best is going to be the Ford Puma Forza Edition. There are a few reasons why this car is so good. Primarily, it's based off the skill perks it has, but it's also pretty cheap to actually buy. As you guys can see, once I search in the auction house, they're only around 120,000 credits, and you can actually resell these. But I'll show you something quickly in a second here that makes this car so good. Look out for duplicate sellers. You don't want to buy off a seller who's listing up a bunch of these, and make sure the car is stock. You pretty much want there to be the highest likelihood the car hasn't even been touched. If you see one guy selling up like 20 of these, you know he's doing this in bulk, and the perks will already have been used. So look for one, looks like it's some random seller who hasn't even used it, buy it out, and then it'll maximize the likelihood that perks haven't been used. In general, if you guys follow those steps around 8 out of 10 of the time, you'll find cars haven't actually had the perks used, and you'll be able to get the most profitability out of doing this. Now with this car, guys, what's so good about it is that not only is there a super wheel spin perk, there's also a normal wheel spin and also a credit perk, which means you can pretty much get everything you guys spent plus more. As you guys can see, this time the car had perks used. I'll be transparent, it happens here and there, but overall it's certainly a minority. But as you guys can see, if you do get the perks successfully, you can get 75,000 credits, which means out of pocket you're around 45,000 for this car if you bought it for 115,000 credits. Relist on the auction house, make all of the credits back plus more, as well as the wheel spins on top. Very lucrative by doing that. Now, of course, guys, another car you can use will, of course, be the Birdie, and I'm going to show you guys that car in a second here. One thing also good about this one, it's also quite cheap. The perks aren't quite as good, but it's around 110,000 credits, and you guys can easily get a super wheel spin just like that. A lot of people listing this up at the moment. Let's look for one that looks a little bit more organic. I just went ahead and purchased this one. Looks like it was only one person selling it, and of course looks completely stock, so the best likelihood the perks will not have been used. That's what you guys got to go ahead and look out for. Now, of course, this guy's a very easy way of converting those points into super wheel spins, mostly due to the fact that it's so cheap. It's only around 9 skill points, I believe, if I recall correctly, on this car, or maybe a little bit more actually, but it's fairly cheap still. And if you guys make it around 10 per minute, it definitely won't be that expensive. This time the perks weren't used, and you guys can actually also get that credit perk if you want. It's going to cost you around 10 extra skill points, so is it worth it for 50,000? I mean, it's alright, it's not the best value, but if you guys want to get it to recoup some of the cost, go ahead and do so. This is the best way to be able to make money, extremely easy in Forza Horizon 5, the easiest free money glitch, and you guys can follow it whether you're a new player or you've been playing for a while and you're simply trying to buy that next car or house. That's going to wrap it, guys. Like I said, hope you all did enjoy. Thank you all so much for watching, and check out those modded accounts at MitchCactus.com.